Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel where we like to talk about homesteading, gardening, and woodworking. Hey, this time we're going to talk about what our favorite varieties of onions are, and then we're going to talk about what kind of soil types are ideal, planting and harvesting them, and that kind of things. So, what's your favorite onion, Dad?
My favorite storage onion is called Patterson, and we actually get this from Berlin Seeds. They're back in the Midwest. I think they're owned by the Amish or Mennonite people, I believe. But you can get Patterson from Johnny's or wherever.
So that's the best storage?
That's the best storage onion that we like. And then the other onion that we grow is Walla Sweets, because we're in Walla. So those
we're not
two.
biased, I promise. We're not even biased at all, not in the slightest teeniest bit, no.
The Walla Sweets are really good.
Yeah.
Very mild.
You
So
need to
yummy.
try them if you haven't had them. You can eat them raw without them making your eyes water. They're actually kind of sweet.
Being that they're open pollinated, you can save your seed. You don't have to be buying seed all the time. So that's Walla sweet onion seed that we save.
That's sweet, Dad.
The Patterson onion for storage, we like it. It keeps forever and all year long until the next crop comes up. We don't ever run out of homegrown onions. And we just keep them cool, maybe 40, 45 degrees in a cool room.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we plant them, we have the drip system, drip tape, and we put them on either side of the drip tape, a row on either side, and we space them out from the drip tape maybe 4 inches or so, 4 or 5 inches, somewhere in there. And then I plant them a little heavier because sometimes they don't germinate. You don't have really good germination. So I'll just go back and thin them to where they're 4 inches apart as young plants. Maybe when they get up 4 inches taller, so I'll just go back through and thin them, pull out the ends. Or you can let them get a little bigger, pull them, and have green onions for your meal.
So when you thin them, what kind of spacing are you trying to shoot for?
I'm trying to shoot for 4 inches apart.
After they're thinned?
After space, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't always work out exactly 4 inches, and you might have a bigger space, and then you can let two onions grow closer together, and they'll still give you a decent-sized bulb.
So basically 2 rows on each side of your drip tape, and they end up being staggered, ideally 4 inches apart.
And then they like a lot of heat and no shade. You don't want any shade. You got to have full sun. They don't have any disease or bug issues really. At least we haven't had that problem, being that we're no-till and we have good, healthy soil. Don't have any problems.
What about soil? The ideal soil type?
Sandy loam is
What
best
about?
for 'em.
And then how about watering?
They take a lot of water. You want to give them a lot of water, especially starting off, and when they get ready to start bulbing, and make sure you got enough water to them. And if you happen to have a few that go to seed, just let them go to seed and save those, and then that way you can save your own seed. You don't have to be buying seed.
How do you save the seed?
Just wait till it gives a big flower head, and you'll see. Just watch. Just keep an eye on the little
flower
seed pods up there.
Yeah.
And just hopefully you'll catch it just before they open up, because they'll open up and then they start dropping seeds everywhere. So try to catch it just before they start opening up. Cut the seed head off. Put it somewhere out of the sun and good airflow, and let them dry out. And then once they're good and dry, you can just kind of shuffle them around between your fingers, your hands, and separate the seed from the rest of the chaff, and then store them in the freezer. So pretty simple.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you about how much fertilizer and that kind of thing can you put on if you're putting manure or something like that on it?
They're actually considered a fairly heavy feeder, which is kind of surprising to me. But they say that they take a fair amount of nitrogen, but not as much as what you want to put on corn or something like that. But it does take a fair amount to get them up to a good size. And then, of course, the potassium is what you want and phosphorus for your root. Being that they're a root crop, you want to make sure you have enough phosphorus on them and potassium to get you nice big onions. So Yeah.
So what's the ideal time of year to plant them? Do you like to do starts inside? Do you like to buy starts? Obviously, you got seed here. What can you say about people that may not have seed and starts and that kind of thing?
I'll start the Walla Sweets sometimes ahead of time in the late winter, early spring. Get them up, put them in like 4 or 6 inch pots and get them going. It's not really necessary around here because you can buy the Walla green onions at the store that are already, and they've been chopped off. The top's been chopped off, and they're about 6 inches tall, and they're just wrapped with a rubber band and dry rooted. And you just buy a bundle of those and plant them. But they don't tend to do quite as well as what I plant. Start my own. It just depends on my time, how much time I have to do it. So, you can start them and just break if you start them in a pot, just break it apart when it's time to plant. And
what do you mean break it apart?
Separate, because you have a whole bunch in one little container. And like a 6 inch pot, you just have just like a green grass growing.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of break them gently apart. Try not to break the roots. You want to be as gently as you can. Sometimes I just kind of roll it between my hands and kind of get the potting soil drop out of it, and then gently pull them out of there without breaking the roots. And some people kind of get fanatic about it and soak them in kelp water or something like that, or fish.
But you're not a fanatic, are you?
Kind of sometimes.
It depends.
So, yeah, you can give them a little boost that way if you want. Put them in a little kelp water, let them sit while you're planting them, or a little fish emulsion or something like that. And then I just take a little dibbler, like it's just a round dowel rod, maybe
just rounded over
3/4 of an inch or so. I kind of sand to a point. I just poke it in the ground, makes a nice hole, just stick the onion in, and just kind of push the soil against it, and keep it going.
So how do you know when it's ready to, pull out of the ground? I'm sure it's different from the storage onions in the Walla Sweets.
Yeah, the Walla Sweets, they're not a keeper. They don't keep very long.
No.
So they'll get to a good size, and tops will start to fall over, and they'll all fall over, and then you pretty much know it's about time to pull them out of the ground. If you wait too long, then you'll get maybe some rot setting in, or they're just not premium. So let the tops fall over and then pull them out. And most people say don't wash your onions before you store them. Well, we always do. We always challenge all the old wives' tale. And so we wash them.
Are you sure? Maybe we're backwards.
And so we wash them, just like potatoes. They say never wash your potatoes. We always wash the potatoes, and it works great.
Same here.
So we wash them, and if there's any of the questionable skin on it that looks like maybe it's not the best quality, we'll pull the bronze skin off of it, and it keeps perfectly fine.
It's in a cooled storage.
Yeah, it's in a cool storage.
It's dark.
So don't listen to the old wives' tales. They're not washed. It works fine.
So what about the storage onions? How does that typically go as far as what time of year to harvest it? You just leave it in the ground until it's...
We leave it in the ground until it's just before the frost comes. Get as much size as we can onto them. And then we'll go out there and just cut the tops off. We'll take them over to a washing table. It has just like a half-inch harbor cloth mesh on it, so we can take a hose to it and just spray off all the dirt off the onions, clean them all off,
go down through the
peel off all the wraps if we need to, if they're bad, don't look good, and then put them out in the storage and
in boxes or crates.
Yeah. They keep great till next year.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that short video. Hopefully it's short enough for you guys. On onions, what our favorite varieties of onions are. Do you have anything else to add to that, Dad?
I think that pretty well covers it.
Yeah, well, so if you have any comments, comment down in the section below. We read them. We'll try to reply to you. And remember, subscribe if you haven't hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell or whatever they say, so that you get notifications when we put out a new video. If you like these kind of videos, please spread the word to others that think might like them. We can use the support. Remember, as always, God is light
and God is love.